Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Brown, and welcome to Eating the Rainbow. I am a registered dietitian and nutrition mentor here at Basics Market, and I'm super excited about this class because as a dietitian, any produce, fruits, and vegetables, that really makes me excited to talk to you and share my knowledge of the benefits that they have and hopefully encourage you at the end of this class to increase your vegetable and fruit intake on a daily basis. So what we'll be discussing in class, before we get into all the great information about produce, I'm going to first demonstrate our recipe for the class, and it's a Tunisian fall salad. It is excellent with incorporating the rainbow into one dish. So I'm really excited. This is a new recipe, and you'll be able to find it in October when we have our October recipes out in the stores. So you actually get kind of a first peek at this new recipe that we've that our wonderful chef Sam developed. So I'm excited to demonstrate that. Then we're going to go into, while the vegetables are cooking, I'm going to go into the colors of the produce rainbow and their benefits and why it's important for us to consume as many colors and as many vegetables and fruits as possible in a day to keep our bodies healthy. And then go into easy goals to increase color intake. So talk about how you can start doing that on a daily basis and work up to incorporating lots of different variety and colors into your diet. Then upcoming classes, we got several classes lined up in September that Chef Sam is going to be demonstrating that I hope that you can join, and then review our locations before concluding. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to use the chat function. We have some great people here to help relay your questions to me, and hopefully I can answer those or point you in the direction that will be helpful to answer your questions. A little bit about Basics Market. So Basics Market is a locally owned market with a purpose, nurturing strong and healthy communities through food with simplified selection, fresh ingredients, healthful recipes. Our 4 locations in the Portland area are small and accessible, focus on just what you need to cook healthful meals at home. So again, I'll review those locations, but we really hope that you can come visit our markets. If you're not wanting to go into a large market and you just want to go in, get out, I highly recommend our markets. They're wonderful to visit and really friendly employees there to help you. Okay, so we're going to be moving into our recipe. We're actually going to do our top-down view. We're going to highlight that so you can see that a little bit more. With the different skills that I will be demonstrating with the produce that I'll be chopping up, which is great because we have a lot of skills in this recipe. And what's wonderful about all these skills is that we're building our nutrition video library and culinary library on our website. And we have a lot of how-to videos, little short clippets of, how to cut a pepper or an onion, cauliflower. So if you want to go back and review those, they're going to be found on our website under how-to videos. So I encourage you to check that out along with our short recipe videos. We're continuing to build that library of short recipe videos because people like to see how it's done, me included. I really like to watch a recipe and somebody actually do it versus reading it. So that's a great place that you guys can go to and check that out. So we're going to start with 1 small head of cauliflower. So with this, I'm just going to get the leaves pulled off first. Get a bowl. It's always nice to have a compost bowl nearby. You can just put your compost right in there to make it easy. I'm going to chop the stem off, and then I'm going to go down the center of the cauliflower. Okay. And with this, you see that the stem is in the center, and then what you want to do is just run your knife along that middle stem, and then it removes really easily. Sometimes there's a one or two little florets that are hanging onto it. But then you can take your knife and cut these into bite-sized pieces. I'm gonna put those over here. Really easy. And I'm going to talk about the benefits of cauliflower, in particularly cruciferous vegetables. Cauliflower is a part of the cruciferous vegetable family. And I'm really excited to talk about one of the great benefits that they have and why it's super, super important for us to consume those on a regular basis. Okay. So this recipe was inspired by Tunisian flavors. So Tunisia, the Republic of Tunisia, is the northernmost country in Africa. And there's a lot of great, unique flavors in this dish that is unique to that region that I'll talk about in the dressing. And so it has a little bit different spice and flavor than, you know, your typical salads do. So I'm gonna get this off here. Okay, so we got the one head of some small cauliflower head chopped up. Now we're gonna go to the red onion. So I've got a red onion here. And with our onion, we want to first chop the stem side off first. Okay. And then that provides a flat surface for when you want to cut, it's not rolling around, because that can increase your risk of cutting yourself, which we don't want to do. So we want a flat surface, and then you have the root side up. You're going to cut down the center of the onion. That way it's really easy to then peel the skin off of the onion. Let me get that peeled off. Now we're gonna dice it. So I'm just gonna make small vertical slits or slices around the onion. And then I'm gonna go straight down to a nice thin dice. Okay, so about 1/2. Just a little closer. There we go. Purple onion or red onion. They kind of, to me, look purple, but I'll talk about what is special about the red purple pigment in fruits and vegetables. That again is really crucial for us to consume on a regular basis. Now, dice. And when you are cutting your onion, it's good to do a bear claw hand instead of putting your fingers out flat. So if you want to do a bear claw and roll those fingertips in, that will also protect in case your knife does slip, it won't do as much damage. Okay, so we got the onion diced. Now we're going to do a green bell pepper. Sam has a how-to video on our website that shows one way to do it. I have a different method, which, you know, there's several different methods out there to cut and peel and dice and chop vegetables. So I'm going to show you the version that I typically do. So if there's a stem on it, you just want to cut that stem off. So again, flat surface. And then what I like to do is turn it on its stem side and then start from the middle and work the knife down to the stem. And that way it naturally keeps the membrane and the seeds inside, connected still to the stem. So I have found for me, this is the method that I like, and then you're just left with the stem and the seeds all left together. But Sam has a great way too on our how-to video library. So we're just gonna get these cut into slices, and then we're just going to dice those. And this recipe has tons of different colors in it. So already we have red, purple, white, green, and then green. And we're not done. So this recipe, literally, you are eating the produce rainbow in one recipe. So we're gonna get that in there. Another great recipe to take advantage of all the seasonal produce that we have. Peppers are coming on. So this is a great way to utilize homegrown peppers if you have some available. Same with the onions. Okay, so I'm going to do the same technique with the red pepper. Put the stem down and then just follow down to the stem. And then, like I said, it keeps the seeds and everything intact. And that can just go in your compost bowl. I'm going to slice this up. While you're slicing and dicing the vegetables, you can preheat your oven, because these vegetables we're going to toss in a little bit of oil, and then we're going to cook them, for about 20-25 minutes, depending on your oven, at 375. So you can preheat your oven, which ours is going, while you're doing the prep work. Okay, just about done with the peppers. Okay. Now the next thing is 12 ounces of green beans. You want them, and I've already done this, to the ends to be cleaned and chopped, so that they, cause it's kind of a little bit tougher and stringy. So you want to get those nice and trimmed up. And those can go right in whole. You can, if you want to do a rough chop on them, you can do that as well. But the recipe just calls for them to be whole. So we got those put in there. Now we have yam or sweet potato. I call them sweet potatoes. So I'm going to cut the ends off and then just peel. And if you don't have a peeler, you can use, a paring knife to do it. You can do just a rough peel. Skin has nutrients and fiber, so you can have, if you don't want to peel, you don't have to. So get that peeled, rough peel. And then for sweet potatoes, and any potato is going to be round, oval shape, so it's going to be a little bit unstable. If you want to take an end and cut a flat surface on it so it doesn't roll around, make it more stable, I do recommend that, so it's more stable. And then I'm just gonna cut it in half. Then I'm gonna cut and quarter it. Okay, now we're just going to do dices. good technique with harder to cut produce, such as potatoes. They're a little bit, thicker and a little bit more dense. So it can be more difficult. And if you're a short person like myself, it is good to have a stool to kind of elevate you up so your center of gravity is a little bit higher and you have a little bit more pressure to push down. I don't have a stool here, but I would probably use my daughter's little stool that she uses to brush her teeth with when I'm doing stuff like this. So again, I have a little bit more strength when it comes to chopping harder, more dense vegetables. Okay, so we got that diced. Now we have, we did the red onion. Okay, now we're gonna just toss it with oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Lay it. So salt, just a quarter of a teaspoon, and then a quarter of a teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. And then olive oil is a tablespoon. We're just going to toss that around. So again, reviewing the colors that are in this roasted vegetable mixture. We'll start, how the rainbow goes, red. So we got a red bell pepper, and then orange is going to be our sweet potato. We don't have a yellow in there, but we do have a yellow in the sauce, the dressing, so through lemon juice. Green is going to be the green beans and the green bell pepper. And I would put the cauliflower in that because it is a cruciferous vegetable. There is some green on it. So we'll say the cauliflower is in there. And then the blue, purple, red is going to be the red onion. So it's a fantastic eat the rainbow dish. Okay, now after that, we're gonna just put that out on a sheet pan, a lightly oiled or sprayed sheet pan. And we're going to spread that out. Make sure there's a nice even layer of vegetables so they cook evenly. Okay. Okay, so we're going to stick this in the oven. So that's 375 for about 20-25 minutes. It may take longer. It does depend on, how thick you cut the vegetables. So just test it out. If the vegetables aren't quite tender, then you can leave it in a little bit longer and pull it out when they become slightly, tender. Okay, now we're going to move on to the sauce or the dressing. So the dressing is going to have, bring it over here. If you have a blender, that would be great for this, so everything can emulsify up and the flavors can infuse. Okay, so with this, we're going to start with harissa. So this is a traditional Tunisian spice sauce blend. It has red chili peppers and red bell peppers, olive oil, a little bit of salt, garlic. It does have a little spice to it. So if you're not a fan of spice, maybe bring it down. It calls for 2 tablespoons. You might want to decrease it to a tablespoon and test it out and see if that's a good spice level for you. So just anyways, that might be something to consider. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the harissa sauce, and then we're going to do 4 tablespoons of tahini. So tahini is just ground sesame seeds. Get that in there. Okay, a juice of 1 lemon. And 1 lemon is going to be probably about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So if you don't have a lemon and just lemon juice, it's about 3 tablespoons. So we're gonna get that in there. 1 clove of garlic. And then we're gonna do a half of a teaspoon of salt. And then a little bit of cool water, about 1/4 of a cup. Water. Then I'm going to get this on our blender. Okay. It's a beautiful orange red color. It looks fantastic, drizzled over the vegetables. So it's an amazing, tasty sauce. Move these over here. And pour that in here. It pairs very well. Okay, so while the vegetables roast, we're gonna go into the nutrition side of things, and then by the time I wrap up with that, everything should be done. I'll plate the salad and put it all together so you can see it before we end the class. Okay, let me get a few things moved, cleaned up, and find my clicker. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to start off with red first because that's at the top of the rainbow. We'll work our way in. So red produce. I'm highlighting 3 different produce on each color. There's definitely more red produce in the ones that I've highlighted, but try to get a different variety in and talk about what makes them special and why it's important for us. So strawberries. Strawberries are in season. They are a great source of vitamin C. So vitamin C is an antioxidant. It helps boost our immune system. It helps us heal from if we have any like cuts or scrapes or wounds. So vitamin C, it helps with collagen production. So it's extremely important if you have, if you're going into surgery or if you've just had surgery, to make sure that you're consuming foods high in vitamin C to help your body heal. And obviously with all of the, with COVID and all that stuff that's happening the past 1.5 years, vitamin C helps support the immune system. It helps fight infection. So consuming a diet rich in vitamin C can help build up our immune system and help us better respond to when we do get sick. Now, not saying it prevents, but it can definitely help how our bodies respond and recover for when we do get sick. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are high in lycopene, especially ones that are cooked, so like tomato paste, but cooked in particular, tomatoes are going to have a higher lycopene content. And lycopene is the carotenoid that gives the tomatoes this nice red color within the skin. And most red vegetables and fruit have lycopene except for strawberries and cherries. So strawberry and cherries do not have the lycopene contained in their pigment or in their skin color, but most other ones like grapefruit, tomatoes, watermelon, they're going to have a source of lycopene in that. And with lycopene, it has shown to have some anti-cancerous effects, especially for men with prostate, if they have a family history of prostate cancer. There is some really good research with consuming lycopene or higher consumption of lycopene helping to increase the risk of prostate cancer or helping during that process. So that is extremely important for men out there who are wanting to, do something from a nutrition standpoint to help decrease their risk. Red bell pepper, so just got done cutting that up in our Tunisian salad. Red bell peppers high in beta carotene. So beta carotene is a pro-vitamin A compound, which basically when we consume that, our body converts it into active vitamin A. And vitamin A helps with like mucosa layers, so helping with our eyes and our nose. And again, it helps if we have really good vitamin A intake. It can help boost our immune system by keeping those membranes moist and working well for us. We obviously need to be well hydrated as well to make that all happen. So water, I don't have in here, but water is extremely important because every cell in our body needs water to function. So that's why most of the human body is made up of water, because every cell in our body needs water to function. So if we're just slightly dehydrated, that's going to slow down that process or our body's process to function at its optimal level. Back to beta carotene. So it's a provitamin A. It's going to help boost our immune system. It's going to help with vision, helps decrease, different risk of different eye conditions. So beta carotene, really great to incorporate in the diet. Moving on to orange. So orange and red is going to have some similar benefits or vitamin, minerals, different compounds in them. So beta carotene and sweet potatoes. One medium sweet potato, so basically what I just cut up, contains 100% or maybe more, a little bit more of your vitamin A needs a day. So if you just ate a sweet potato, medium sweet potato, then you got about 100% or more of your vitamin A for that day. So really easy way to do that. Carrots, again, high in vitamin A or beta carotene. Again, helps boost the immune system, helps with eyesight. Night blindness, that is linked to low vitamin A levels. So again, very good for the eye health. Oranges, so all of your citrus fruits can be excellent sources of vitamin C. Again, boost the immune system. You can kind of see a theme here of helping boost your immune system through these choices that I have had or I've made for the class. Yellow produce, bananas. So bananas, yeah, it's kind of white when you peel it, but we're putting in the yellow group. Vitamin B6. So vitamin B6 helps with development of neurotransmitters in our brain. So that's extremely important. So bananas, great, source for that. Apricots, great source of vitamin C. Talked about that. Yellow squash, magnesium. Magnesium is huge for bone development and health. I think a lot of times we don't think that produce has very high mineral content, but it does. And I'll talk about another source of bone building minerals in another slide, another color. Green. Okay, so green, there's tons of green vegetables out there. So that's why I had to put cruciferous vegetables. So we could cover all of the cruciferous vegetable family, which is a wonderful health benefiting vegetable that you need to consume on a daily basis. So cruciferous vegetables are going to be broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, arugula. So we have that as our bed for our roasted vegetables and our Tunisian salad, fall salad. So arugula, those are all fantastic cruciferous vegetables. And so the nutrient that I wanted to highlight is sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a compound that is unique to cruciferous vegetables, where it is a very high anti-inflammatory compound. There is more and more research coming out of the significant impact it can have on decreasing risk of certain types of cancers, certain types of autoimmune conditions, helping even reduce the inflammatory response if somebody already has an autoimmune condition. And cardiovascular health, they're high in vitamin K, and with vitamin K, that can help with bone health. It can help with microbiome, your gut microbiome, along with blood vessel health. So there's a lot of different components in cruciferous vegetables that are extremely, extremely important to consume in our daily diet. And I think I really want to emphasize that on this class tonight, because if you don't do that, and always check with your healthcare provider before making any changes into your diet, because there's certain produce that can interact with medication, and cruciferous vegetables are high in vitamin K, and sometimes increasing your vitamin K significantly over a few days might interfere with certain medications. So it's really always good to speak with your healthcare provider and see how you can do that safely. And they can help guide you along. But cruciferous vegetables, great, research coming out about the sulforaphane compound that is almost like a genetic switch, or it is a genetic switch in our body that turns on that anti-inflammatory effect in our bodies, and they are special with containing this compound. Great way to consume them, because they are hard to consume in a large amount, but a great way to do it is adding them into smoothies. So if you're a smoothie fan, start off with adding about a quarter of your smoothie cup of greens, of kale or Brussels or broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts are like one of the highest containing sulforaphane vegetables of the cruciferous family out there. So adding those in and gradually increasing it to half of the cup, and then 75% of the cup of cruciferous vegetables. And you could put, different fruit in there too to help with the sweetening factor, because they are bitter. But if you can do that, that's an easy way to get them in if you're not a big fan of chewing them or their bitter taste. So anyways, little tidbit there. Okay, avocados. Avocados are an excellent source of monounsaturated fats. They are amazing. They're monounsaturated fats are great for the heart. So great for improving cholesterol levels. So avocados, fantastic in monounsaturated fats. And then spinach. So spinach is not a part of the cruciferous family. It's part of another family, but with spinach, it's high in plant-based iron, so non-heme iron, and calcium. So I know people have concerns with, well, how do I get my calcium in through plants? But a 3-ounce serving, 3.5-ounce serving provides 10% of your daily value of calcium in spinach. So There are different sources, and collard greens are another great option for calcium. Kale, your cruciferous vegetables are going to contain calcium, and then so there are lots of different vegetables that have calcium in them. So it's a great way to, if you are lactose intolerant or dairy free, and you're wondering, well, how do I get my calcium in? Well, your produce is going to help you do that. So anyways, spinach, great source of iron, also a good source of calcium. So blue and purple, I just combined these two together because some, like I said, are purple, red, blue colors. And so they have very similar benefits. So blueberries. Blueberries are fantastic in anthocyanins. And so anthocyanins are antioxidants that are shown to have anti-cancerous effects, supports cardiovascular health, supports brain health. That's a big one that's kind of coming out, more and more research of cognitive health, what foods or what diet can improve cognitive health as well as decrease the risk of cognitive decline through dementia and Alzheimer's, which are one of the fastest growing chronic diseases in the United States. So they are finding there's a specific diet called the MIND diet, and I'll probably be doing another class on that because the initial findings of the MIND diet, which is a high plant-based diet with berries and dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, beans, and high omega-3 fatty acid fish. And they're finding this diet had over 50% decreased risk of people developing cognitive decline or dementia. So I'm really excited for that research to continue, but it had a significant impact on supporting cognitive health just through diet. So that's really exciting. It shows you the power that food can have on one's health. Beets. So beets are going to be great in nitric oxide. So beets contain nitrates, natural nitrates. They're not artificial. So these are the good nitrates. So when we consume plants that have natural nitrates in it, we have these bacteria that naturally convert the nitrates into nitrites and then into nitric oxide. And with nitric oxide, that helps, it's a vasodilator. So a vasodilator is going to increase the size of your blood vessel. So we have a problem, with hypertension. And that's one of, leading causes of stroke, cardiovascular disease. So with a vasodilator, it helps, instead of constricting your blood vessels that, hypertension does, it helps relax and expand the blood vessel. And when that happens, it reduces the cardiac output, or basically the work that your heart is doing, and it helps the blood flow and pump more easily throughout the body, and it helps decrease the workload that your heart has to do in order for it to pump throughout your body and get oxygen to the organs and the tissues that it needs to get oxygen to. So beets, great source of that. And then grapes. So in particularly the red or the purple grapes, they have a compound. It's a flavonoid, resveratrol, and with this compound flavonoid, it is showing that it does have some anti-cancerous properties for individuals who consume. And now there is some more controversial research out there with consuming red wine Does that help? Because it does have this compound, the resveratrol in it. And does that help decrease, do you get the same benefits because it's alcohol? My recommendation is, let's decrease alcohol as much as possible, because we don't know yet if the positives outweigh the negatives with consuming alcohol. So if you can get this through natural sources, like grapes, then I recommend going that direction first, versus, hey, let's start drinking red wine if you don't drink red wine already. So it wouldn't be one of those things I would be like, yeah, incorporate into your diet if you don't do so already. Okay, so let's talk about goal setting and how to increase your intake of produce and the colors of the rainbow. I just put out there, the dietary recommendations, the U.S. dietary recommendations for number of servings of produce per day. And they've had this campaign a long time, 5 servings a day. Let's try to hit that. So if you don't consume 5 servings a day, and an easy way to do that, if you don't want to carry around a measuring cup, or which most of us don't, I don't necessarily recommend, your fist is a good gauge of a serving of produce, fruit and vegetable for you. So if you have your fist out, then having a pile of vegetables the size of your fist is going to be considered approximately a serving for you. So if you can get 5 of those a day, great. And if you're already doing that, if you get closer to 8, even to 9 and 10, the benefits continue to increase, they have found. So it doesn't mean like after you consume 5, there's no benefits. The benefits continue as you continue to increase your produce consumption, especially in vegetables. Fruit, not so much, sticking to about 2 servings a day for fruit, but majority of your servings coming from vegetables. They're seeing that as you increase that, the benefits of consuming those vegetables continue to increase and decrease the risk of certain chronic illnesses later on in life. So if you already consume 5 servings, set a goal for 8 and work your way up there. Now, if you don't consume 5 servings, then set a goal that's more realistic for you. So say, I consume maybe 1, or you don't know. If you don't know, go ahead and just write down a couple days worth of your intake and kind of reflect back and see, oh yeah, I might consume 1 or maybe 2 a day. If that's the case, then start where you feel comfortable. So if you consume 2 servings a day on a regular basis, increase it for 3 for 1 week. And then after that week's over, increase it to 4, and then increase it to 5, and continue to increase it. And when people do that, I do hear of gastrointestinal complaints, and that's totally normal. The more vegetables you consume, and if your body's not used to it, you're going to have more gas production. That is just a given. Now it does, if you stick with it for 4 to 6 weeks, then that's going to change your gut microbiome. So all of those bacteria that are working for you in your gut it's going to improve. Actually, after just 1 meal of nutrient dense produce is going to change your gut microbiome. And so as your body changes and you build up those bacteria, those healthy bacteria in your gut, then you'll find that the gastrointestinal distress is going to go down. But you just have to give it time. So don't get down or feel like I'm always going to have this problem. It will work itself out. Just give your body time and just think, hey, this is going to benefit me in the long run. Okay. And then for colors, if you can aim for 3 different colors a day, that's great. You can start there and then increase it up. I've made different tracking sheets for this where you color the rainbow, the color of produce that you consumed, and you color that part of the rainbow. You can do that, or you can kind of just keep a note in your head, but it's a really great family activity too. So if you, I mean, kids are into rainbows a lot. So if you want to get, you know, an activity sheet out and make it a family event and a competition, you know, competitions are great. You can have a sheet for everybody, and you can see, you know, who can consume the most colors in a day, and then look at it in a week, and then maybe have a prize at the end of the month. So anyways, that could be a fun family activity, but try to shoot for at least 3 in a day, and more is always better. The more diverse of a diet you have through produce, the more diverse your gut microbiome is going to be. In a healthy gut, 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So if we're really feeding those healthy bacteria, that's not only going to help our gut, but it's going to help our entire body. So, okay. So upcoming classes, I'll talk about that after I get the vegetables out. I need to check on those. And so I'm going to get those out, and we're going to plate up our Tunisian fall salad. Okay, looks amazing. Nicely roasted vegetables. Smells fantastic. Okay, now I'm gonna put a bed of arugula down. I really enjoy arugula. It has a nice peppery flavor. And this is a cruciferous. It's part of the cruciferous family. So that sulforaphane is going to be in this. And it's higher, I will say it is higher in raw form versus cooked. So if you want to really focus on maximizing that intake of sulforaphane, then the raw versions are going to have more of the sulforaphane in it. Okay, now I'm going to get the roasted vegetables on there. This is a great salad if you're trying to find something different for Thanksgiving. This would definitely fit that description. If you are wanting to do a little bit of a different salad that can feed 6 to 8 people, this would be the salad that I would select. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. Now we're going to finish it off. We're going to get some toasted pumpkin seeds on top. So we're going to sprinkle those. I didn't talk about seeds much, but pumpkin seeds, if you're really looking for a plant-based food that's high in minerals, seeds are going to be the thing that you want to incorporate. Pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, or hemp hearts, they are fantastic in zinc, manganese, magnesium, iron, different vitamins as well. But if you're looking for something that is plant-based, that is high in minerals, seeds are going to be a perfect option for that. Okay, now we're going to put some olives on top, and you can just leave these whole. They're just black pitted olives or Kalamata olives, sorry. You can use, if you're, not a fan of these, you can do green or black or none. Okay, now our harissa sauce, lovely color. It smells great. So we're just gonna drizzle that over. What I like to do is just drizzle about half of the sauce over, and then you can leave half of it for when people serve themselves. You can have it if they want a little bit extra dressing. It's always good to put less dressing and then add 2 versus a lot, because you can't take it off. So I'll use half of the sauce, and then the salad is beautiful. All the different colors. We have the red, the orange, yellow through the lemon juice, green, purple. It's fantastic. Very nutrient dense. All those antioxidants, phytochemicals, vitamin and minerals in one dish. So, okay. We're going to look at upcoming classes, and then, feel free, if you have any questions, submit those. Okay, so our upcoming culinary classes, we have on 9/15, we have Bao, the steamed pork buns. This is a repeat class. It was so popular when we first did it. Chef Sam did this back, I think it was in the winter time, and sold out really quickly. So he's going to be doing that again. And then 9/22, we have the cardamom sour cream cake. That's a fantastic, another holiday or fall dessert. That's a really great recipe. And then 9/29, eggs 101. So if you're wanting to learn how to poach an egg, how to scramble, how to do an omelet, this is a class that you definitely need to join, because he's going to do all the egg basics and how to really master those techniques. And then we got our 4 locations. So we're located on Sandy Boulevard, Capitol Highway on Hillsdale area. And then we have our meat market on Canyon and Lovejoy, the Pearl District. So we really encourage you to come and visit us. And like I said, the recipe, the Tunisian fall salad, is on our website. It's not posted in the stores for September, but will be in October. And feel free to come in and check out our recipe wall. I just got those done yesterday. So our new September recipes are up, and those are free to the public to take. And look forward to seeing you on the next nutrition class. Have a good evening.